Good evening, Packers fans. Aaron Nagler here with your post-game chat after a 33-13 victory by the Green Bay Packers out there in Denver against the Broncos. It's going to be a sweet plane ride home for the folks associated with the green and gold. And also, shout out to all the Packers fans in Denver. Go Pack, go chants ringing out through the night. Absolutely beautiful. You love to hear it. Great to see the green and gold represented in such a robust fashion, even at a preseason game. Packers fans always show out, man. It's awesome. Hope you're all doing well. I mean, that's more like it, right? Obviously, starting defense, playing very vanilla, kind of showing you why they've been working on so much when it comes to the pressure packages and getting after the quarterback with scheme, because it was very vanilla tonight, and Bo Nix pretty much could do what he wanted. But outside of that, it was probably your one nitpick on the night. I thought everybody really across the board acquitted themselves quite well. Obviously, there's some performances and some moments that you're going to have to learn from, but there were several guys who I thought really stepped up tonight. Obviously, Trey Smack picked up where he left off. Really exciting to see him just hitting essentially everything that he's asked, and with very little drama. I mean, almost every one of those kicks that I can recall is right through the uprights, smack dab right down the middle. Yes, please. Thank you very much. Um, and then there are, of course, lots of other guys. I mean, Kamal Hadden, I thought, was pretty much the headline of the night. He's a guy who, we talked about it last week, hasn't been able to get out there until recently because of several different injuries. He had been coming back from that horrific ankle injury against the Ravens last year, but had been delayed on his return to action. And man, he is making the most of it, playing in that slot position, just fearless, absolutely fearless, physical as hell, making a couple of tackles for loss, playing well in coverage. I mean, he's a guy who I think really helped his case, as it were. I do think we talked about it earlier this week with Justice. I thought, he probably already made the team, but I think tonight really solidified it. Absolutely outstanding stuff from a guy that they're probably going to need. I thought when the ones were out there, you saw Brandon Cisse doing some really good work. I know he did get injured on special teams, but it sounds like he's going to be okay. I haven't listened to LaFleur post game yet, but he showed why he belongs without question. Anthony Campbell, I think he killed a guy, maybe two of them. I mean, this guy has had just an outstanding summer. Another really good night tonight. A couple of pressures, including a sack. Really, really excited about his ability and the prospects for possibly, maybe making it a conversation where they actually keep him on the 53. I've been thinking practice squad all summer, but man, it's hard to deny. Whether it's practice or these games, he is making plays. He is doing so consistently, too. For a young guy that has not played a whole lot, it is exciting to watch him kind of continually step up and make plays. Um, Obviously, really unfortunate that Sturdivant got hurt on the one reception that he had, but it did allow guys like Will Shepard and Isaiah Nayor to step to the fore. That touchdown reception by Shepard, outstanding work with the feet right before getting out of bounds. Just phenomenal. I mean, that the NFL account tweeted that thing out because it was so beautiful. I've been thinking practice squad for Shepard. Got to admit, I don't think this changes much, but it certainly puts him on notice for the rest of the league. Maybe a couple other scouts start taking looks, etc. But man, just a really good night for Shepard and McCord. Another good outing for the young quarterback who, yeah, did a lot of his work against twos and threes, but man, you have got to operate the offense. You've got to deliver. I mean, we've sat through plenty of performances from backup quarterbacks throughout the years where even if they were going against the twos or the threes, they don't deliver consistently. And I thought McCord ran the offense very well. Didn't make the big mistake that he made last week when he checked to a play that essentially ended up in a big loss and ruined a drive. Never made that kind of mistake this week and delivered the ball on time and did a really nice job, I thought, in the pocket, avoiding people. Just, again, really good night from McCord. We'll see. It feels like, knock on wood, other than Cisse, Sturdivant obviously as well, but outside of those two, which didn't seem to be insanely impactful or serious, feels like they escaped Denver without any serious injuries, which of course is always the goal in the preseason. So knock on wood again. That's heartening to say the least. And to say the least, it's great to see all of you chiming in here, people piling in the chat. Good to see you all. Thank you so much for being here. Get to your questions and comments. Mike, thank you so much for becoming a Carry the G Club member. Really appreciate you, man. Crazy Packers fan, how you doing? Lloyd, fight on. USC, go Pack, go. Yeah, I mean, phenomenal work on the touchdown reception, right? He's got a choice route out of the backfield there. I thought phenomenal work by Jordan Love at the line of scrimmage, sorting out what Denver was doing, showing pressure, sorting that all out, and then getting to the read underneath with Lloyd running a really good choice route over the middle, hits him in stride, easy, not easy, relatively, touchdown. The one thing about Lloyd, though, that it reared its ugly head again tonight. We've seen it sometimes in camp. Certainly saw it, I think, last week at times. He's got to stop dancing, man. I can't remember who the offensive lineman was. Someone got a holding call, mostly because he was dancing in the hole, and then cut back, and it changed the angle. A holding penalty because of it. This young man, he's got all the talent in the world, but he's got to understand there is no time for that in the NFL. This is not college. This is not USC. You have got to put your foot in the ground and get upfield, get north, which I thought, shout out Jaden Nixon, that the touchdown run was impressive. The second effort, really good work there. But the run before it, or two plays before it, where they got down in the goal-to-go situation, I think is the best run he's had all summer. I don't think he's had a ton of opportunities. He hasn't, I don't think, done the most with the few he's been given. But tonight's the best he's looked in a Packers uniform, without question. And that run to set up the touchdown was, like I said, excellent work. Just one hop step, kind of a jump step to set up the blocks, and then just put his foot in the ground and got north. I mean, that's the thing that Lloyd needs to understand. You can make one cut. You cannot dance in the hole. You got to make them. You've got to put your foot in the ground and get upfield. And that's what like I said, that's what Nixon did really, really well. Molly, thanks for the super sticker. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. This is great, Rob. I know it's preseason, but I enjoyed watching Sean Payton lose. I don't like that guy. I feel you, brother. I will say it was fascinating when, the Denver defender, whose name escapes me at the moment, was sacking Tyrod Taylor, which was totally clean. I know the Denver commentators were like, oh, maybe he put the weight on him or whatever. Clean tackle, totally fine. When he gets up, he shoves Tyrod Taylor's helmet into the ground. Look, a Sean Payton coach team? I mean, I can forgive them for not understanding that's fucking illegal because they got away with it last year when they shoved Jordan Love's head down after a play. So, sorry, guys, it is illegal. And we actually had an official tonight who threw a flag because of it and gave the Packers a first down, and they went on to score a touchdown. So a Sean Payton team, dirty and killing themselves with penalties. Interesting. Funny how that works. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I don't like the guy either. What else we got? Oh, no. Cam Wood. Cam, I saw a bit of this as well. I've had it with the dregs of our fan base. After the nice opening drive that ended with a Lloyd touchdown, I actually saw people on IG bitching about how Golden was open on that TD, which is so funny because, yeah, he's open on a corner route, but like that's dragging coverage away from the middle of the field where Lloyd is wide open for a walk-in touchdown. Like, sure, you could. It's a more difficult play. And if Jordan tries that throw and say goes to the back pylon and just misses him and Golden maybe can't bring it in, then everyone's like, why didn't you take the easy throw in front of you? There's Lloyd's cutting across wide open. Man, also, why are you on IG during the game? That is not a vehicle for enjoyment of football during live action. I mean, I understand like Instagram, TikTok, whatever, they serve a function, but during a football game, Instagram is the last thing on my mind. That's just me. Your mileage may vary. Uh, Steve's, yes, absolutely. Was happy with the running game tonight. For the most part, I thought they did a really nice job, especially bouncing back because a couple of guys got whipped up front, especially early when the Broncos had their starters in there. But man, I think almost to a guy you could point to, okay, had a tough play there, but came back and really kind of fired off the ball and made the most of his next opportunity. Certainly, when the twos were in there, Belton and company on that right side, they were making some hay, no doubt about it. I think if you were watching the Broncos broadcast, which I was forced to because had to watch NFL Network, they kept talking about how the Packers were really doing some nice work in the run game. Yes, I thought it was some impressive stuff across the board there. Weird kids, what's up, man? CC locks down Cortland Sutton. Awesome. Cornerback one. I mean, it's one play, preseason, but it was a nice play. Definitely. Good technique there. Really nice work understanding what Sutton was doing coming out of his break. And not, again, we've talked about this a lot with Cisse. Really good job not panicking, not grabbing, not turning the receiver at any point, not trying to use his body for leverage. Just does a nice job of disengaging, understanding the ball's coming, and just going and trying to make a play on the ball. That's heady stuff for a rookie. He does it consistently. William James, thanks so much for being a Carry the G Club member. Jordan Love looks really sharp. Think he plays the last preseason game. Random Packer Don Barclay. Wow, that's a pull. No, Jordan won't play the last preseason game. They've already talked about this. He'll play. He'll get whatever work needs to get done this week, especially in relation to like live action. That'll get done. I believe it's Thursday during the joint practice, or maybe it's Wednesday. I can't remember which day, but later next week is the joint practice with the Cardinals. That will be his last kind of hurrah, so to speak, in camp. He won't play in the Cardinals preseason game. And the next time we see him after the joint practice will be week 1 in Minnesota. But I'm also with you, man. He looked sharp as hell. And I thought he did a phenomenal job on the touchdown drive. Just both A, taking what was given, not forcing anything, but B, directing traffic at the line of scrimmage pre-snap, setting protections, making adjustments to what the Broncos were doing. If you asked him, I'll bet you he would tell you he wished he could have got that ball for Golden on the 19-yard gain on 4th and inches or 4th and 1, whatever it was. It was a tad low and behind Golden. Golden did a nice job getting back and stabbing it and bringing it in. I think if you asked him, honestly, point blank, he'd probably say, I wish I put that in a little better spot so Golden can keep running, right? But overall, man, just great work from Jordan. Absolutely. Spot on. Oh, Robert, 1,000,000,000% correct. Strong had a strong night. I mean, here's the thing, too. Everything we were talking about before regarding Lloyd, right? And look, I'm not digging on Lloyd because, I think he's terrible or anything like that. It's just he hasn't played, and that shows, right? He hasn't played NFL ball except save for a handful of snaps, right, in 2 years in the league. And that shows. Strong has. Not a ton, but he's played some ball. He's been around for a couple years. You can tell the difference as far as understanding, I got to make a cut and go. And Strong did that as a runner tonight. But of course, I think the big highlight, obviously, is the return. Phenomenal work. Understanding where his blockers are, continuously moving forward. Just great stuff. And how about shout out at Cam Acord? Special teams. I know they gave up the one return up that left sideline there, but looking a little different, looking a little competent. I mean, it's preseason, it's early, but returns are good. And also, speaking of returns, how about that job by Sky Moore when I think he fielded it at the 6? Man, fearless stuff. There's 2 Broncos bearing down on him. He understands leverage and understands the momentum and inertia and takes the ball, just squeezes right past and up the right side there and gains I think he gains 10, 15 yards, something like that. I mean, in recent vintage and Packers return games, that would have been either a fair catch or an attempted catch that gets bobbled and given away, or a catch that turns into a hit that turns into a fumble. And I was waiting for all 3. But Sky Moore was like, no, I got this. Okay, easy game. It's amazing. Amazing. RCS, how you doing, brother? When Campbell got that sack, I yelled, "He killed him." Yes, I also yelled in my living room. I think I woke my girlfriend up. Sorry, honey. But yes, fun times. It's great when you can get quick pressure from an interior lineman where the quarterback just has no chance. We talked about this on Daily earlier this week. That's that's 1,000,000,000% the best way to essentially short circuit a quarterback. Because like if you can feel and sense pressure from the edges, you can step up, maybe you roll away from it if it's on one edge coming and you go the other way. But man, if this guy's a 300 plus pound mammoth is fucking winning quickly and in your lap after a second, this is precious little you can do, right? So yeah, that's fun. That is fun. And again, it's great to see Campbell continuously making plays. Cam, thanks so much, man. Oh, I got this one already. Sorry. I got that one. RCS, what's up, man? Cheers to Beers and Balls show for the live stream. It's great to see Eddie and company going live for these preseason games. God knows I could never do it again, but shout out to Eddie. Appreciated. Very, very appreciated. Jerry, what's up, man? Who surprised you tonight? It's a good question. I don't know if anyone shocked me. I don't think anything like stood out as far as, I really didn't expect this or that. I will say it was great to see Will Shepherd get to do some of the things we've watched on the practice field in a game situation. I know a lot of the conversation has been around Sturdivant and Naor as far as what we've seen in practice. Shepard's been good. He's had like one or two really kind of impressive catches in practice, but it's not stuff that probably gets highlighted a lot by the media. Um, it was great to see him get that opportunity to really deliver tonight repeatedly and top it off with an amazing touchdown catch. That was great. What else we got here, folks? Pack, this is great. Does the butcher Corey uses serve crow? I mean, I don't know what he's eating crow about here. I mean, he's always been reticent about kickers, that's for sure. And I know he asked Brian how he's feeling about Trey Smack. And now Trey Smack's delivered for 2 games. But, his position being, let's get rid of the kicking game altogether. I don't know that, he needs to eat crow because of that. It's just an opinion that he doesn't like the kicking game. Now, I think the kicking game's been part of the game of football for forever. So, we differ on that a little bit. Amy, how are you? Thanks for the super chat. Especially liked hearing Go Pack Go in Denver on TV. Cheers, Nags. Yeah, I mentioned it at the top. Absolutely beautiful to hear it ringing out through the Denver evening there. Looked like there were a bunch of Packers fans enjoying themselves. Absolutely love it. King Favre, how are you? Haven't seen you, man. Hope you've been well. Will the untrained eye see a difference between this year's defense under Gannon versus last year under Halfley? What should we look for? It's a very good question. My hunch is yes, but we won't really know until we get to a actual game where he's game planning for a specific offense and or quarterback and what his kind of rhythm of play calls are throughout the game, right? I try not to get too excited about all of the pressure stuff we've seen in camp because I do think a lot of that is just twofold. It's we want to be able to utilize it in case we need it, but only in case we need it. But on the other side, I think it's like, yes, they're trying to show the offense a ton of different pressure looks because that's what they're probably expecting, especially early in the season. Those first 2 games against Minnesota and the Jets is probably going to be pretty heavy pressure from both of those defenses. So, I'm trying not to get too excited about it. But then you watch tonight and you see, they play vanilla. They play some really static coverages and they get taken advantage of because they can't get to the quarterback. Now, who's playing? They didn't have guys up front. A lot of guys were in street clothes. I get all that, right? But yeah, man, I don't know. I want to say it's good. It's going to look different, but It's a Matt LaFleur team, and his philosophy on defense through all three defensive coordinators he's had on staff so far has been the same. Like, the scheme has been different. Some of the utilization of personnel has been different, but the idea being we're going to play coverage, whether it's too high, whether it's cover three, even quarters, whatever. We're going to play coverage. We're going to rally and tackle, and we're going to make you earn it all the way down the field. We're going to limit explosive plays. That has always been the big thing, right? Which is fine. The thinking behind it is completely understandable. Does it change under Gannon? I would tend to doubt it. I mean, Gannon himself, his history is play a ton of quarters, play coverage, rally and tackle, keep it all in front of you. He's utilized a lot of different three safety looks and things like that. But yeah, I don't know, man. I tend to think it's going to look somewhat similar. Now, maybe there are more wrinkles. Maybe there are more kind of, I don't know, different uses of personnel that we haven't seen a ton of over the course of the last couple defensive coordinators. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I totally know that's going to happen, right? I think they're going to have those tools in their toolbox, but how much they utilize them remains to be seen, man. It's a good question. I wish I could give you a more solid answer, but it's a complete unknown until we get to games where they're game planning, right? Leia, thanks so much. Smackdown. Corey will look hot in his kicker jersey. Random Packer. Estes Hood. Also, go Pack Go. Hell yes. Well, Corey is probably not going to wear the jersey, but I know Soder will be. That's absolutely coming. Cannot wait. Badger Trio, how are you? Love has the pieces in place to make a run for MVP. Absolutely. People just have to stay healthy. I mean, that's the same for everybody, right? But it also depends on his play caller and offensive play designer and game planner, helping him out in that regard. I don't think there's any doubt, though. He is primed to maybe not explode, but to show everybody just how damn good he is. And it was great to see Dave Bakhtiari tweeting live during the game how good he thinks Jordan Love looks at the moment, right? I mean, the table is set. Can't wait to see what Chef Love cooks up. This is great. Smack is leading us to a Super Bowl? All right. Let's make some regular season kicks first. But that's just me. Speaking of Soder, how are you, buddy? That was a fun preseason game. Need 35, Matt LaFleur. The Shepard-Nayor Shepard triad might not make the practice squad. Sucks to be good at finding wide receivers. I mean, or it's great at finding wide receivers, because you have an endless supply in a league that features them prominently. But yeah, I hear you. There's no doubt that it's going to be tough for those guys to make the 53. I doubt they do that, What's we got here, folks? Porkmaster, how you doing, buddy? It's amazing how much better the team looks when they execute. That did not feel like I wasted my evening watching preseason. Yeah, I mean, it's great when they score some points, right, and get some stops, and you can feel good about it. But even with a big victory, which it is, like 33-13 is not insignificant, it doesn't mean much, right? It doesn't mean a whole lot. But you're absolutely right. You're up late on a Friday night. You're hoping you're not wasting your time as far as an entertainment goes, and I think that was pretty damn entertaining. I'm there with you. Pimo91, how you doing? After today/last week, what position were you pretty sure you of the depth chart July 31st and how you're not sure end of August 21st? Good or bad reason? Man, I'm thinking you could have worded that better, but I'll try to figure out what you're asking. Today, last week, what position were you pretty sure of? I think you mean sure of the depth chart before July 31st. So what, before camp? Not sure of as of today? I don't know, man. I think interior defensive line is something that's still a question mark as far as what the rotation is going to look like. But, they've added at corner, and that group seems to be competing. Wide receivers, about as deep as I thought it would be. Safety is still strong. I know Oladapo's gotten some guff lately because they're asking him to play in the slot while Bullard is hurt, but I still think as a regular safety, he's fine, and they're still pretty damn deep there. Offensive line, certainly in flux at points, but pretty much what I expected. I think the one probable kind of, if I'm reading your question correctly, the one surprise I've had in the development that is actually a good thing, I think, is a good thing, is how much better Sean Ryan looks than what he looked like through, most of the end of last season at center. I think a full offseason at the position has really helped him. His groove with Jordan is noticeable. And I just think his pass pro has improved. And that was desperately needed. Now, on the flip side, and we talked about this on Daily a couple days ago, the unfortunate part is Belton has not taken a step forward. I mean, I'm not going to say he's taken a step back, but he certainly hasn't moved forward and improved in pass pro, and that's whether he's playing guard or tackle. I see so many people grousing about, oh, they're not running him at guard. It's like he's a disaster at guard. He was terrible in pass pro at guard last year. He's been terrible in pass pro at guard this year. Like, at least at tackle, I see him competing a little bit, and that hasn't been lights out. That hasn't been pretty. Still struggling at times, but at least at tackle, I see him competing. Like at guard, it's just hard to watch, man. So yeah, that's unfortunate, and that's probably somewhat unexpected. I think the hope had been he would take a step forward, but again, that's kind of counterbalanced by the fact that, yeah, man, Sean Ryan looks pretty damn good. And like, look, it's just camp. It's not fully live yet. We've had a handful of full live drives now. So, you can't make any real ironclad determinations yet. But to me, that is a true positive. Jerry, how are you, buddy? My guy Naylor is a stud 53-man roster potential. Jerry, I love you, buddy, but I'll be absolutely shocked if he's on the 53. The only way that happens, I suspect, is if there's like, a cascade of injuries this week in camp and or that final preseason game. And even then, I don't think any of the starting guys are going to be in that game. He's got talent. There's zero question about it. And they utilize him on teams, which always helps, right? Especially for a young player. But I just don't think the numbers are there. I don't think it works numbers wise, but we'll see. He's got a week to make a case. Ryan, how are you, buddy? Smack splitting uprights and dimes in the drop zone. Plus, Sky Moore looks good and some solid tackling on teams. Maybe this is our year for special teams. Cross fingers. Yes, I'm glad you brought up the kickoffs. Just really good work landing, as you say, in the drop zone, not going into the end zone, not giving them the ball at the 35, but outside of one return, they did a really nice job. Perfectly placed kicks for the most part from Smack, and coverage was on point and limited those returns definitely inside the 35, right? I think they started around the 20 a lot of the times. So, yeah, man, Smack is becoming a weapon, not just for the field goals, but also for the kickoffs. And yeah, Sky Moore, it's amazing having a legit returner. It's insane to me. Like, it feels like an out-of-body experience. We haven't had an actual talented returner at punts. I'm talking punts. Obviously, Keyshawn Nixon was an all-pro for 2 years under the old rules. Those rules changed, and he kind of turned into a pumpkin. But we haven't had a legit punt returner since Micah Hyde. Think about that. It's been a long time. Now we got a guy back there who looks like a complete natural. Night and day, man. Night and day. DS Badger, what's up, man? I liked how we didn't commit penalties. For the most part, yeah, they did a really good job, right? I mean, I know there were a couple as far as on a return, things like that. But for the most part, yeah, absolutely. Nick, how are you, buddy? Packers have a tough choice to make at long snapper, potentially. See, I don't think it's tough. Just keep the guy that's doing really well right now. And, Orzik, he can stay on PUP. And then when he's off PUP, you cut him and put him back on the practice squad. I don't think he's getting picked up, but maybe he will. I mean, that's a 1 in a million chance, but I don't mess with it. I think it's easy. Now, Packers could probably make it difficult. They did at kicker last year, but I think it's simple. That's just me, but I would not mess with that if you gave me all the gold in Fort Knox. Absolutely not. Cam Akers is the man we were looking for all these years. I mean, still early. I'm very excited about special teams. They absolutely looked solid tonight. No question about it. But that's a ways to go yet. But definitely promising. All right, everybody, I'm going to have to get going. I cannot thank you enough for hanging out, talking Packers each and every day, Monday through Friday, right here on the Cheesehead TV social channels. I got Bill with a super chat right here at the end. Don't want to miss you, buddy. Seemed like the guard position is still questionable. I think Monk is a little overwhelmed. I think if we can get Banks back there at left guard, get Burton, who I know it was Burton who had the penalty, but I think his penalty is mostly due to Lloyd dancing in the hole and then shifting to his left there, changing the angle on the defender. I think that solidifies things pretty nicely. But we'll see. We'll see what happens over the course of this next week or so, right? All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you all hanging out late into the night on Friday. Great stuff from the Green Bay Packers tonight. Really appreciate all your support. Please hit like, hit subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family. Cheesehead TV. We are devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great night. Go Pack Go.